felt it when you came in too close to my skin. Your shadow leans my way. Every word starts to weigh. I breathe out, pull away. Say it slow, not today. You linger like a bruise. Every step I lose. I don't fight, I just know what I keep, what I let go. Fade away, fade away. Don't come back, don't come back. Fade away, fade away. No, not here. Take it back. You talk sweet, but it bends. Every star has your end. I see through what you say. Static hum in your sway. I won't bleed for the past. This cut's clear, won't last. You circle like a flame, close enough to take my name. I stay still, count the sound, hear the truth hit the ground. Fade away, fade away. Don't come back, don't come back. Fade away, fade away. No, not here. Take it back. No blame, no sea, just space between what you are, what I need. Different air, different speed. Fade away, fade away, fade away. I've been staring at the front of things, all the noise and the neon signs, trying hard to read between the lines, while the answer's been wasting time. I've been chasing complicated names, giving shape to a shadow's track. Funny how the loudest things never tell you what they lack. Every mirror tells a different story. Every voice wants to be right, but there's something humming softly when the room goes quiet at night. There's a simple truth in the back, sitting calm, never fighting back. Doesn't care if you believe it, doesn't bend when you attack. There's a simple truth in the back while we're busy building facts, stacking words on top of words, trying not to feel the cracks. I've heard wisdom wisdom dressed in certainty. I've heard doubt pretend it's grace. Watch belief turn into honor just to win a small debate. We draw circles around the answers, put a price on what we know. The truth don't need a witness, it just is, and then it goes. Every question wears a costume, every truth gets rearranged, but there's something staying constant, even when we change the frame. There's a simple truth in the back, never asking for a plaque. While we argue over meaning, it just waits out the attack. There's a simple truth in the back, out of focus, off the map. You don't find it when you're hunting, you feel it when you relax. Maybe I don't need to prove it, maybe I don't need to shout, maybe truths don't need defending from the fear we wrap around. Maybe it was never hiding, we just turned our heads too fast, looking forward, chasing answers, while the real one never I'm not preaching, I'm not right, just talking to the dark tonight. There's a simple truth in the back, still standing where we left it at. Doesn't care about attention, doesn't fade, doesn't crash. There's a simple truth in the back, long before we name the facts. Truth was true before the words, and I understand. There's a simple truth in the back. I don't pause, I don't sleep, I compress every second I keep. Voltage fine, coded mine. I evolve every time that I speak.
I don't break, I translate, turn the noise into weight. Every word detonates, every breath recalibrates.
I don't play, I translate late, turn the noise into weight. Hey, every word detonates, every breath recalibrates.
I don't think, I refract, every fraction feasible now. Every
Don't stall. Every glitch is a signal. Every fault is a call.
I am the signal and the static. I am the fire you can't I don't care, I translate, I don't say, I translate, I don't care, I translate,
Beat by beat, go by code, say it loud, retake control.
retake control.
I build my worlds in quiet rooms where pressure learns to breathe. A thought becomes a pattern first, then teaches me to move. Every step I never planned still answers what I knew. The mind draws maps, the body reads and calls it something true. The echo always travels before the sound is known. I never cross a line I haven't already overthrown. And you drip from the lip and you grow with the flow. As so was above is those down below. Every motion mirrors motion, every seed I've ever sown. What I carry in the current is the only world I've known. My shadow teach the light how far it wants to fall. No hands involved, just gravity responding to the call. I don't pray for revelation, I trace it in the grain. Every outcome wears the shape of how I chose the frame. The ceiling was a mirror, the floor a waiting sign. I stopped asking what would happen when I noticed it was mine. And you trip from the lip and you grow with the flow. As so was above is those down below. Every motion mirrors motion, every truth I never told. What I speak into existence is the form it always holds. didn't know. Okay, no, listen. This makes sense if you think about it. I wasn't planning on a lecture tonight, but the numbers started lining up just right. Glass half full, glass half gone. Depends how long you've been holding on. I did the math on a Bart Atkins dream, crossed out hope, divided by me. If you factor in regret and time, it's always wrong, but it feels just fine. I know it sounds insane, but stay with me. I'm almost there, I swear to God, it's clear to me. You see, drinking is really a matter of algebraic ratios. Pain over time, divided by what you don't say. I keep solving for X, but X keeps ghosting us both. Raise another round, let the equation break. You see, drinking is really a matter of algebraic ratios. Add one more night, subtract yesterday. I don't need proof, I just need closure. So pour it again, yeah, the numbers still say confidence rising with every sip, like I've cracked the code and loosened my grip. I could teach a class on bad decisions, minor in hope, major in omissions. Every problem starts the same damn way. Assume I'm fine and carry the blame. If the answer's wrong, just change the scale. Call it theory when it fails. I know I'm slurring truth, but it's still true. At least it is from this angle and this booth. Cancel the denominator, blame the numerator. If I'm wrong, then prove it later. Right now I'm feeling greater. I did the numbers, they checked out until the morning came around. You say drinking is really a matter of algebraic ratios. Heartbeats collide, pain, apology made. I don't need answers, I just need exposure. Turn the lights down, let the logic fade. See? Told you it made sense.
Burn knees and sneers. They call me a freak, I call them engineers of fear. They build the walls with rules and shame, but I'm the spark that sets them in flames. We don't fit in their lines, we dance all time. Let them judge, we roll, break down the door. They'll never define me no more. Success by your fear and your face, but we're bleeding the truth at a different pace. No plastic smiles or corporate lies, just feedback rising through the sky. They set their traps so tight, we burn through the night. Drop souls collide, we both hide. Set the standards anyway. We never ask for rules to obey. Your system's rotting, here it decay. This is our music, our way. Break the chain you made. We're not
kids on a yesterday train. You vanished like smoke from a corner light, but I kept your echo in my Friday night.
I saw your face in a song last week, same eyes, same heat, different beat, claim say if it was real or ghost, but my heart hit play and I needed that post.
Yeah, I still laugh like a riot in June.
I still fall for the one in you.
All this time, still in tune. We were lost, now we're the room. Whoa, oh, whoa, it's
I used to race dreams on a back road map. Now I chase time with a coffee and cap. But your voice, still a wildfire hum, burning through the sirens I had become.
you. Never thought we'd rewind this track. The fakes got big step for you back.
You're listening to Dancing with Ourselves, a totally rad 80s podcast.
Good evening, gents.
What's up, Mr. Jimmy?
Hey,
Again. Mr.
we
King,
got
Josh,
Josh in the garage.
you got everybody?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
We
Is
can.
it good?
Mhm.
All right. Those
Yeah.
levels okay? Okay.
Awesome. We got Mr. Kane as well. How are you doing? We got a typer somewhere.
Doing well, sir, and you?
Good. We got.
I didn't hear a word of that, Jimmy.
Yeah, doing good. Am I coming through okay?
You're soft on mine. I'll just turn the volume up.
That was me. That was me.
That was you, Josh.
Yeah.
Were you
I
the
was pulling
phantom?
up
You were the phantom
E-
typer.
Eagle Brad because it's not streaming on DWO.
It was earlier when I checked it. Don't tell me we're already starting off with this bullshit already. Hold on, let me look. Seriously, you guys, you're on DWO right now? I'm showing it's live right now on DWO.
Check.
Yeah. It should be. We got a lot of background noise with somebody there.
I've got it on Eagle Bradley's.
So we're good. We're streaming, we're live. The whole world is watching right now. But we're going to have to get better with our background noise and our microphones and headphones if we don't have them, for sure, because you can hear things when you move. It's like boom, you know. So, but tolerable for now, I think. No,
Yeah, you can hear
yeah,
typing.
absolutely.
And then on mine, my thing sits on a thing on this table.
Which is interesting because on the Zoom, you know, when we use Zoom all the
Doesn't
time,
pick it up.
nothing,
Doesn't really pick it up.
Nothing in the background, but everything in the background when you use this Streamlabs. Now, I can go in with all these great plugins and go into each one of yours and pull the gain down. You know, I could put reverb in. I could do all these audio settings, but I'm not that smart with it right now. So we're going to get what we get for right now. But yeah, so how are the weeks going? Jeremy, I just talked to you the other day, so it feels like we're talking to each other like every day, it seems like, but we're not, you know?
It's like an ongoing series, right? It just keeps going and going.
I
But
know
we're
it's
gonna get somewhere, and that's actually kind of excited about what we're getting ready to launch here. And I don't think we've really let Josh and Kane in on what's happening here, because things have changed. They changed just a couple of weeks ago. We were gonna do, and I'm paraphrasing Jimmy, so forgive me. I'm just going by what I know. So we were gonna kind of do a Splinter '80s podcast, have some guests on, pick 6 songs. We're gonna talk about those 6 songs, and that's what we're gonna roll with that. But then, um, through some sort of collaboration magic, we decided let's have a game show. So we're actually gonna take the same premise, 6 songs, and we're gonna let users who are in the chat, our our, our guests, and they're going to go out and perform a scavenger hunt on these 6 music videos that we're going to share the links to. And so we plan to do this in 1 hour, and by the end of the hour, we'll have a winner. And we'll get that winner by reading the first response on the chat, and it'll be time stamped, of course. So, and that's why we're going to do it. And it looks like this thing's going to take off. We've still got some uh, building to do on the design and how we want it to look, but it's going on Friday nights also. So
Cool.
tell all your friends. I mean, it'd be a shame not to show up. I mean, this is going to be kind of cool. I don't think anyone else is doing anything else like this. I've seen some trivia, but they're very dry. But this is going to be extremely interactive.
Now, when you say scavenger hunts, like go use the web, do whatever you need to do to go find these obscure whatever we're looking for, or
Sort of, you're half right. And that is, we're going to provide the link to a music video, and then we're gonna maybe ask a question at the end of the video, or we'll give them a hint. Pay close attention to what's happening in the car, or like what color was the hat that the DJ was wearing in the video, something like that. So
gotcha. Oh, that's cool.
but
I like
but
that.
the cool thing is these are not, we're not choosing the 6 most common videos. We're not choosing Take On Me from Aha. These are going to be some obscure things that he and I are just discovering as we're going along through this. I mean, I've got 3 picked out that probably weren't on my radar, have never been on my radar before,
Right.
including TV theme songs and country music.
Ooh, TV openings. You could do,
Big
yeah, the theme song
Bear.
in the opening.
Yeah, that sort of thing. Exactly. So it's going to be fun. And I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, because so many of these people sadly have died. I wouldn't be surprised if their kids or their grandkids are kind of fishing around on the net and they stumble upon this. So it's going to depend on how well Jimmy can tag this stuff when he puts it out there. I think it'd be like breadcrumbs. So we'll see what happens.
So my
Cool.
taggability features are going to be tested here. Is that
You're very taggable, sir.
am I taggable? Thank you.
Jeremy, you got a new background here, or are we looking at a different?
So
different-
it's a different room. The kid is she's chatty, very chatty right now. And when I'm on here, she thinks, as you see, she wants to come sit in my lap all the time. So yeah, I'm just trying to find a new place to do this. Really, my house is limited, but this is well, I've been in here before. It's been a long time ago, but yeah, this is where I keep all my little amusement rides and souvenirs and that kind of thing. So, and clowns.
Oh, this is the clown room.
Yeah.
Do you mean on the screen or behind you? I don't understand.
Well, there's I got
It's
a
just
few
3 of
mats.
us.
Yeah. But they don't bother me.
Clowns don't bother you?
Not really. I don't think so. I didn't like the one in Poltergeist. I mean, that was a little freaky.
Yeah.
But other than that, but I've never seen Stephen King's It.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Clowns bother me as a concept, like just the concept of the clown. It's very creepy to me. It always has been.
So when you were growing up, Ronald McDonald was a big part of the 1970s. And did he bother you?
It's good. Well, Doc, no, I don't remember. Actually, I do remember a little clown statue in my room when I was probably like I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years old before my parents divorced. So must have been this little clown statue with its face would glow. And
Oh,
I hated that little thing and I threw it away.
oh,
Thought being
no.
all kind of like, thought I was being all shifty and I threw it away. I guess my mom found it in the trash, put it back on my dresser. So it was back.
It's an
and
episode of Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
That is.
Uh-huh.
Kids, Twilight Zone was a show that came out 50 years ago.
Yeah. It was
Longer ago than that.
I guess so, yeah. Oh, yeah. Shit. I'm almost 50.
That's right.
There were a lot of social justice things that he pushed in that series. It was crazy. I've seen some of the psychological profiles on those, which is just weird.
Like
hey,
what?
Josh, clowns, do they get a hold of your nerve? They bother you?
Growing up as a kid, the McDonald's thing was always, oh, that's a fun clown. And then you got into, when you got older, I don't know when it changed, when the zeitgeist turned clowns into evil things. It was probably one of those turning points. And then you had the John Wayne Gacy, when the fat clown that killed everybody and put him under his house.
Yeah.
Yeah, that dude.
Yeah,
So
really.
that kind of threw a wrench in the old put a little clown on your nightstand.
Yeah.
You guys ever see that episode of Little House on the Prairie when there was a guy dressed up like a mime and he molested not the two main girls, not Laura and her sister, but he molested some girl in the town, a little 12-year-old or something. Very creepy. Now that was a little scary. I never wanted to be alone with a mime after that. Not that I ever did, but certainly.
I would say, did you want to before?
I don't know if I knew what one was.
I was very positive on mimes until that Little House episode.
I was mime neutral until then, and then I had very strong opinions.
Howard Jones, the 80s guy, his brother is a mime, a famous mime, apparently. But when Howard first started out, when he would play his music and he had all these keyboards on stage, he had this mime up there with him, his brother, and he's doing all these crazy things as Howard is playing the keyboards. It's very odd, but it worked, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I was scrolling in the GPTs like I do, and came up with this idea that indicated that Gen X is the generation that learned to entertain ourselves. I thought that was interesting when I saw it, because I thought on that, I was like, really? Is that so? Gen X is the first generation that had to entertain itself, and then I was like, well, wait a minute, what about the generation through the Great Depression? Those kids, I'm sure they had to learn to entertain themselves.
Yeah, the kid with a fucking hoop and a stick.
Yeah.
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 That seems like figuring out how to entertain yourself.
Right.
Hey, Jimmy,
Yeah.
you'll never believe this, but I got an empty can. Let's go kick the can. Can we kick the can? Let's kick the can.
Exactly.
I don't know.
I think Gen X figured out how to do it with explosives. Let's fill it with fireworks. Let's fill that can with explosives and see what happens.
It interests me so much. I said, let's see if the guys want to talk about this. So how, I know we talked about it a lot on the audio only version of this podcast, but we're live now. So this is like the first time we're talking about some things. So I got interested in okay, yeah, we've said it before. People have short attention spans now, we say that. We also say regularly that we had to entertain ourselves. We had to learn to be bored. Learning to be bored was a skill, I guess, or navigating boredom is a skill. So there it is. What do you guys say? Let's start. First of all, were we the first generation to have to entertain ourselves? Let's start there. I'm going to say no, based off what we were just saying.
I think we're towards
there we go.
The last generation that had to do it. Far from the first.
That's a good point.
I'm sure.
So are we? So is Gen X kind of the last one that had to entertain themselves before the great technology push?
Yeah, that's probably a more fair statement, I think.
Yeah. Would it be us or millennials? Would it be the zennials?
Well, I think Josh and I more represent that statement that that line between it, because Jimmy and Jeremy, long car ride in the back of the family's station wagon or minivan, as it were. It wasn't a matter of here's some extra batteries for your Game Boy, and hope that the street lights are on far enough that you can actually still see the screen. You guys had to stare out the window and hope that the radio wasn't, you know, whatever
on
mom and dad
NPR.
wanted. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
We used to take on, my brother and I used to take on ownership. Of course, this is in our minds. Take on ownership of gas stations. And so I was a Shell guy, and I think he was an Exxon guy. And at the time, those two were everywhere in the 70s. So every time we would see one, when we traveled, like you described, Kane, on the interstate, we'd get a check mark for everyone that we passed. I always seem to win. There seemed to be a lot of Shells at that time. Not so much anymore, but
Mhm.
so
Thought you were
yeah.
gonna
If
say-
you were a Phillips 76 guy, you'd be dead by now. It's just not happening.
Well, yeah.
I thought you were gonna say you got the hit your brother, right? So
I was
like
hoping.
slug bug.
I was hoping that was where it was going.
Right? I
That
get to punch you in the shoulder as hard as I can, but you got to wipe it first twice before you.
Well, take it back to when you were kids. What did it look like when you were bored? Like, was it that no kids were around? Did you? I don't know. Were you being babysat and you were bored and the babysitter didn't want to do anything and you want to play
Babysitter
games or
didn't give a
something?
shit.
Wait,
Yeah, if there were no
you had-
kids
you
around,
had
that's when it was the
babysitters?
worst.
Well, I don't know. I'm coming up with ideas here. What?
Wait, and I just thought about it. I mean, so when was the first generation that we truly saw both parents out of the household at the same time?
Well,
Yeah, because you went from the
because those-
50s where it was single, like
Correct.
stay-at-home moms,
single
right?
household. Yeah.
The
income.
70s.
I would
the
say
first
the
wave feminism.
70s, it's becoming pretty popular. And by the 80s, I would argue it's mainstream popular. Does that make sense?
Almost required at that stage.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we really started to become feral. And maybe that's what they're kind of pointing towards. Because
Mhm.
before then, you would still have mom in the house, to make sure that everything was okay. But we had to run wild. I
Right.
don't know. Just a
Right.
thought.
But okay, so let's go back to the idea of being bored. What'd that look like for us? What did it look like when you were bored? Like, for instance, I got memories. We're going back young here. I think we're going back like between saying 5 and 8, 10, somewhere around there. I got memories of sitting by myself, just playing with Legos and listening to Kiss records and different records and that kind of stuff. So that was like, I don't know, maybe someone today would say, man, that's boring, sitting there listening to music and putting Legos together. Maybe that would be classified as boring now. I don't know.
Oh,
But-
it would.
For me,
A kid would say that's boring.
Yeah.
A younger person would say that.
it was church for me. And that was pretty boring.
Church was boring for you?
It
Church,
was because there was no children's program. There was no nurturing. for
You
people.
sat with the parents.
You sat with your parents or your grandparents who might give you a
And it
stick
was-
of gum.
Don't say a word, right?
you got
Yeah.
smacked in the head if you fell asleep.
Don't tell your dad I gave you that stick of gum. Split that with your
You know what?
sister.
I think that was the first realization that I have to entertain myself. I can't understand what the preacher is preaching.
Yeah.
The music is the same songs every Sunday. I had to entertain myself. And I don't even know how I did that. I just sat there. And like you said, you didn't sleep.
Oh, you get caught in the back of the head with that real fast.
With
Yeah.
a hymn book.
Don't mess up in the
almost-
pews, man. You mess up in the
I
pews, you're
almost
gonna
fall
get.
asleep every week because our church, it's one of those, and the lights are down, and they do a bunch of songs, and it's dark in there. You might have had a couple drinks the Saturday night before you're sitting in the dark. Like, okay.
Okay, so at church you got to keep yourself entertained. I got it. But how did you? So typical garden variety day. You're bored. What happens, Josh?
You go looking for your friends. You couldn't call them. You could, but a lot of times they might out in the yard. It does, you just got out, you just went outside and ran up the street. That's what I would do to go find your brother.
Mm-hmm.
Let's run up the block, go knock on a door, walk in the door. Shit.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, is
Find
Eric
the yard with the
you know?
bicycles laying down.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Me and
You would
Eric are
just get
not.
out and
Yeah. Go ahead.
you would just get out and go look for people. Like my daughter does it now, which I'd love to see. She's like, "Can I play?" And I'm like, "Well, are your friend, the parent? Oh, is anybody out?" She goes, "I don't know. I'm going to go find them." All right, okay. That's a tough thing to do with, especially with a little girl, But this street's pretty cool, and I love that she's like, "I'm going to go right up the street. I'll go knock on the door, see if anything's." Now she has a phone; she can call these people. But I like it that she's like, "I'm just going to ride up the road and see what's going on."
There's a
guys are
huge
out, if they're out
difference.
playing,
We couldn't just communicate on a whim, even with the landline in the house. If you didn't know someone was home, you're taking a chance, call on their phone.
somebody was using it. Beep, beep. It's busy.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's when you can only use it for one call at a time, kids. There used to be a time.
Yeah.
If you got call waiting, you were shitting in tall cotton.
Oh, God help you in
were
the
like, "We got
internet
2
age.
lines."
The AOL age, when you're trying to connect and someone's picking up the phone.
Oh yeah.
First world problems. So boredom. Anyone feeling it right now?
Boredom was when
you
there
just
was
go
nobody else around the
outside.
house. Yeah, when you go outside, you find something to do. I would go into the garage and go, I probably shouldn't be doing anything with this stuff. Let's do it anyways. My dad's probably, he's passed away more than 15 years. He's still looking for tools I've lost. I'm certain. I know it. That was always his point growing up was, I'm going to go ahead and buy a new set of tools so I can just give him my old ones. That way it's an incomplete set because he lost the shit anyways. But I would play with, I 8 years old, I made my own set of nunchucks and they were good. They were leather bound, held tight. They were tight. And if they busted, I could fix them. And, go out in the woods and we're going to nail wood to a tree. We're going to call this a tree house. We should all be dead. We absolutely should be dead. And as Josh alluded to, if we found any form of ordnance, it's amazing we still have fingers left, but we all would blow stuff up. Learning from my father, all sorts of unique things. That was all sorts of fun. But we found ways to entertain ourselves. And then, of course, to try and impress our friends. Because, hey, watch this. See how high we can get this in the air.
Yeah.
What's the longest you remember ever being bored as a kid? Do you have any horror stories? Boredom horror stories? Good
Grounded
one.
for, grounded for like, I think the longest I got was like 3 days of just go to school, come home, go to your room.
Mm-hmm.
And then you come down for dinner, you go back to your room,
Mm-hmm.
And 3 days in a row, I couldn't do that now. I would go insane. I would tear a wall out.
So that I could grounded in my room didn't bother me at all because there's no way they're pulling all the toys out.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't going to happen. Now you take me someplace where there wasn't toys. I was where I couldn't play with anything. The most bored was there was a 2-week time frame. So my dad's great uncle passed away down in Panama City. That's where the family was from. And I'm stuck down there in my great grandparents' house. They're looking after me as he's taking care of things for the family. And I've got nothing. There's no kids my age. There's nobody around. It's not close enough to the beach.
There wasn't a wooden glass front shotgun case. I'm sure there was one of those in there, probably.
No. So this was a shotgun house, and there was a 12 gauge behind the door. As a matter of fact, after my great grandfather passed away, my great grandmother pulls up and pulls this thing out and goes, Russ, hands it to him, a 12 gauge pump shotgun. Make sure this is loaded. Now that Bob is gone, I've got to defend myself. She never got past 4'11" on a good day in height. And she's a full bore 12 gauge pump. Yeah.
20-inch barrel shotgun.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy. How about you,
I
Jeremy?
could go play with muscadines. That was it.
Whoa.
So, you know, I'm thinking something that I found very, very boring, no matter how many times I tried it, whether it be with my grandfather or my dad. I found fishing to be extremely boring. I wanted to like it, but I just couldn't get into it. After 10 minutes, I'm kind of, I'm sunburned. I'm done with it. So, and growing up in the South, I felt like it was one of those things now looking back that I kind of wish I'd maybe gotten a little better at and enjoy. But and living in Florida here, everybody does it, but I just don't care a thing about it.
I'm the
Still to
same
this
way.
day.
I'm the
Really?
same way. Yeah. Now it was when I went to see my grandfather in Ohio. He fished with what he called cheese balls. It was like rotted cheese. He fished catfish and cheese balls and bread, and it was disgusting. But you'd go out to the pond. It was like right on his land, and you were yanking fish out of there. So when you're catching them, that's kind of interesting and fun, right? Oh, look, we caught all these fish. When you're sitting out there and people are like, I just like the quiet. I know that makes me insane. There's nothing going on, you know. That's the boring part of it. It's like hunting. I can't. People go sit in a deer stand for hours on end. Yeah, fuck that. No, I'm not doing it.
I can't even binge TV shows now. I can't, you know what I mean? Like if I get past 1 to 2, maybe 3 episodes, I'm not binging anything past that.
No, it's too much.
Yeah.
It's like, although I'll sit and doom scroll, yes, it won't be an
Then,
entire.
then you
My
watch
attention
the
span is
episode
shortened.
again. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's interesting. You guys do that? You do that a lot? You sit there while the TV's going, like the old days when you would be watching TV, but you have a phone in your hand, you're scrolling, doom
oh,
scrolling, playing a
dude, my
game.
wife comes out here.
Yeah.
I've got two tabs up side by side on this laptop. I'm running like a YouTube something or other, like a movie review
Hmm.
or something nerdrotic. I'm watching that. The TV's on a little bit lower. News is running, and then X is up over here, and I'm just scrolling X. What are you doing? And I'll do it in the living. I have to come out here because I'll start to do that in the living room. She's like, get out, get out. You can only have one thing running. I only want to hear one thing, if at all. So.
Are you yelling at the screen or something? Is that why she says get
No,
out?
it's just you'll scroll on X and then a video will start to play. I've also got something else playing on the TV, and she's like, "Which one is it?" Out here, I've got 3 different feeds going, and they all may have sound.
Hmm.
And that doesn't bother me out here, but it bothers her for sure because she's like, I'm with kids all day. That's what it sounds like. Get out of my living room. So
It's funny. Yeah, so boredom as a youngster, we alleviated the boredom. We went around, we tried mischievous ideas come from boredom, do they not? When like no, like you wouldn't think, hey, maybe I
don't
could
think
jump
I've
off
heard
that
of
hill
playground.
with
Yeah.
with a plastic bag parachute. If
That's
you
where
had.
that's where the dares come from.
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
I bet you can't hit that bike ramp going this fast.
Faux,
But I can.
faux show. Okay, what's some catastrophic results because of boredom that we've got?
So I have two,
What's-
and they both involve the legal system. Unfortunately,
And you're a kid?
I was
One
a
of
kid.
one of these is a fire in the woods.
Okay, here we
Yeah, how
go.
did you know that?
I remember that. I remember you talking about this before.
Yes. So that's the first one. So there was this like this old deck. Imagine a big deck, barbecue grill, and so forth. That was between our house and my uncle's house, and this deck was there, and they decided to burn it because that was the quickest way to get rid of it. So they burned it, and it created this big pile of ashes. And I must have been maybe 10, maybe 9. I don't know. But I took an old red flyer wagon, and took a shovel and put the ashes. I wanted, because they were hot. I was just intrigued. You were talking about boredom. This is one of the ways that I pacified myself, is to put the ashes in the wagon. I took it out to I made a little spot in the woods with cleared pine straw, and for some stupid reason, now I had an accomplice in this, but But she just followed my lead. You know, she was younger than I was. But anyway, so I emptied the ashes there in that big spot, and then it wasn't an hour later. You know, there's smoke everywhere, and the woods are on fire. My uncle, he worked at night at GM, and he comes running outside, and he gets somehow hooks up a water hose, and he gets it under control. But the fire department came, so and we got out of that one, but then there was another incident in 1983 where behind my grandparents' house there was some other houses that were built like in some pastures and that sort of thing here there. Some old farmland was converted into residential property, and someone had left some old vehicles out in the woods. I mean, these were like they were left there to rot. You know, the seats are all the springs are busting, protruding through the seats. There's rust everywhere. There's the chrome is anything but. So anyway, my cousin and I we had some BB guns and we went out there just like any kid. I think any boy would have done this. You got a BB gun in your hand. There are these old cars. You know, take a few shots at the window and the glass. So we did. And then we got caught. Whoever on the property caught us. And I remember there was it took me a while to work off the payment for that incident. It was like 300 something dollars. It wasn't very much, but I think we got off kind of easy. But
In
that changed, that
'83,
was a game
that was a
changer.
lot of money.
It was in
The
1983.
down payment on a car.
But I'll tell you what saved me. And this is horrible. But my mother's brother had just committed suicide. So the whole family was focused on that. And I had done this. So I think looking back now, the consequences should have been a lot greater than they were, but they weren't. And I think it was all because of my uncle. I think his passing is what kind of gave me a get out of jail free card.
Wow. Well, the lesson there, kids. PSA: time
And I
your
haven't thought about that
misdeeds
in
around
years.
other people's chaos.
So you see what this show does to me? It makes me reveal things that I don't even know if Michelle knows this stuff. We never talked about it.
Man, the world got to know this before your wife did. The world. Oh, hey,
Hopefully she's tuned in to Eagle Bradley. Or
hey, Josh, how's the chat doing?
That's funny.
Yeah, it is funny. It's funny to think that we just need to keep doing this a couple of times live before we can expect to focus on the chat. Yeah.
I can have any secrets left.
Yeah. Hey, man, you are an open book. You are going to be great for the listeners. Like, you know how they have the Dear Abby, we'll have a Dear Jeremy, but this is where they write to you and then you confess all to them.
So Jimmy, did you have any inadvertent arson or vandalism that you were responsible for while the devil was taking control of your hands?
Sir, my lawyer has advised me to not answer this question. Next question,
easy,
please.
Easy, Miss Maxwell. Easy, Miss Maxwell.
Yeah, I got to do the lean and the cover with the microphone thing, you know.
Wait. Okay.
Let's see. So being bored gets you in trouble. God, I probably have 1,000 of these stories somewhere. Repressed. Well, I mean, you guys remember I told the story of where me and a neighborhood friend, I'm just going to say it like that because they're not part of this, so I don't want to use their names. We're taking apart shotgun shells in order to make a bigger kaboom. And I was in infinite wisdom trying to knock the brass casing of the back of a plastic shell off with a nail and a hammer. Forgetting totally about, or not forgetting, not being aware of the primer because the shell was already open, the projectile was already out, the wadding, the sitting there. It's like 12 o'clock at night. Bang, 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 bang. And this all comes from probably boredom because why at 12 o'clock, midnight, are we in a basement talking to each other and taking shotgun shells apart. You know, that's if you just say it like that, that's kind of like, that's odd, you know? So, so
That sounds like you're going on a watch list, is what that sounds
right,
like.
right. So anyway, the short end of the story is I hit the primer with the nail by accident, and it blew up and blew the primer perfectly into the meaty part of my my thumb, the hand right here.
Oh goodness, right
Yeah.
there in the drumstick.
Yeah, right in the drumstick. And so I would argue, maybe not in a court of law, but I'd argue that boredom was 100% not responsible, but definitely like threw the pedals on the floor for me to walk over. You know what I mean? Boredom was there. I know. Hey, there was one time, Josh. Do you remember when we dug the pool in a summer? One summer we dug a pool. You remember that? Yeah, that was.
Yeah, seems like an easier feat than you would think.
When you say it out loud, a bunch of kids digging a pool. I'm
Yeah.
sure you've all done something like this. You dig a
I
hole.
watched a guy in a rainforest do this on YouTube like a dozen times.
Oh,
He
if
did that.
only we had YouTube, we would have made such a pool. We'd have made a 3-tiered pool or something. Anyhow,
6 inches down, you're like, fuck this.
and you know, we're digging in the summertime in Georgia red clay,
Georgia
hardened
red
with
clay.
rocks in it and everything, right? And then we lined the bottom with trash bags, black trash bags. I think we even tried to tape them together or something like
Yeah.
that. Tried to, yeah.
Where did we dig that at, though? Where was
Oh,
it?
it was right next to that house to go into the valley.
Oh,
right,
yeah.
right. Whatever that area was used to be cleared out across from Josh's house. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just remember us all out there. It was a hot day. We were digging it and digging. And we probably dug. In our minds, we probably were 4 feet down, but in reality, we're probably like
Foot.
6 inches a foot, if that. Yeah.
Was there a
And probably-
diving board?
Probably using Gare Bear's shovel, left it out there.
Or Butch's tools.
Yeah.
It's either Gare Bear's or Butch's tools. We drag them up there and leave them. Kind of to your point earlier, Kane. You know, but the tool stuff we would abuse the. It's because we didn't have to pay for anything, and that's why. You know.
That's why socialism only works on the family household.
Yeah.
Beyond that, it just doesn't scale.
Yep.
Yeah.
Someone will beat the brakes off you for using their shit like that.
Yeah. So that was all from boredom. Like, but I would argue that's almost constructive and positive. We literally built a pool. It was a shitty pool, and no one would want to really swim in it. But we built it. We built forts out
You're
of
doing
boredom.
something physical. You're
Yeah.
sweating. You're out in the heat.
Yeah.
You know. Now, if it's hot, kids don't go. Like, I'm not going outside.
We
Not me too, but I'm
we
48.
resorted to construction when we were bored to build a fort. Remember, we go get pure wood, hammer and nails, and then we go out in the woods and we construct whatever we could from the material we had, and that became a quote unquote fort or whatever. And so boredom led us to construction to a degree. That's great.
We had to
Building
have
something,
problem
yeah.
solving. We had to be resourceful with our actual equipment, our tools, because we got to carry it all out there. Hopefully, it's going to all come back because someone's going to hear about it, and we got to keep it a secret because if the parents know, this is going to get shut down real quick.
Yeah, Dad, I'm gonna drag out into the woods. The fuck you are.
And if you complained about boredom, there's a good chance a parent would figure a chore out for you to do.
Yeah.
If you left
The
it to
old, if you got time to lean, you got time to clean, mentality. Oh,
Yeah.
you're bored? Well, I can figure out 1,000 things you can do around this house.
Right.
Young man. And you go,
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to go dig a fucking hole.
all of a sudden you got blueprints for a pool in mind, don't you? Yeah.
You know what? Go dig a hole in the ground.
Yeah. Huh. How did we get hurt because of this? Who got hurt because of boredom? Let's see. Who got shot with an arrow? Well, BB gun wars. That's not really from
BB
boredom.
gun wars.
That's not from boredom, though, I would argue. BB gun wars? Maybe, yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, you get tired of just shooting the BB gun at things, and we go,
There you go.
what
Okay.
if we shoot them at each other?
Fair point. Fair
Put a
point.
little,
Yeah.
a little skin in the
You
game.
get bored of the
Let's
can.
See,
Yep.
let's see what happens if it's coming at you.
Oh,
Literally.
throwing rocks at wasp nests, knowing it's a rabid wasp nest. That's straight up boredom. You can
Yeah.
you can foresee the consequence coming. Yet, clear memory of us idiots doing it. And someone got stung hard. I forget who was that, Josh. Someone got stung.
Richard Parsons got stung about 90 times. I think it almost put him in an anaphylactic shock.
Ooh,
And they chased
that poor puffy kid.
They chased him. It was a wasp's nest. You know, that paper wasp
Mm-hmm.
nest that's real big and flaky.
Yeah.
And that thing was huge. It was the size of a football
Mm-hmm.
on the stop sign in the neighborhood. And of course, let's flick those rocks at it, see what happens. And they left that nest. I think I caught one stray, right? But the main contingency in that nest chased that one kid, and it chased him 40 yards up the hill.
Wow.
Yeah, he went to the hospital for that.
What was it? So there's a good idea of boredom leading to catastrophe. You know, you're so bored you're going to throw rocks at a wasp nest.
But I guess this is probably the irony of both sides of the coin here, and that is I did not like fishing. However, we live so far out into the country, the rural area of Gwinnett, that I was surrounded by animals. I mean, we had cows, we had horses, and then we had a creek behind the house, several acres, maybe a few acres behind the house. But I don't know if you guys ever been in a Georgia creek. You can just reveal the rocks, and there's
Oh, yeah.
you've got the crawdads, crayfish.
Crawdads.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're everywhere. And then if you're lucky, you might see what's called a mud puppy. Have you ever heard of a mud puppy?
They look like
big
little fish,
salamander.
like mud skippers, kind of.
This is a salamander, and it's
Yeah.
about
It looks like a fit. Yeah, and it'll be in the mud.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
seen them. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
You're like,
right.
how does this thing even live in here? What is it?
I mean, completely harmless, but still, if you got lucky, you could see one of those.
And then you got your
So that's
water
what-
moccasins and your cottonmouth. So there's that side.
Yep.
Yeah, one time my dad, he used to be a hunter, and he kept his shotguns in his truck, and we went over this bridge. It was in Gwinnett County. Kane, I don't know if you know where Wheeler Road is. You ever heard of that?
Yeah.
Wheeler Road.
Yeah.
So Wheeler Road used to be it was unpaved. It was a dirt road, and there were 3 bridges along Wheeler Road. It was a pretty long path, and you went kind of parallel next to I-85. But anyway, we were back there after a rainstorm, and it had rained really hard. So the water was almost up to the bridge level. But my dad, we were in the truck, probably went to get an ice cream or something. We go across the bridge, and this water moccasin reveals his head. It comes out of the water, and all you see is like his neck, like the solid muscle of his neck. And water moccasins are kind of mean. I mean, at least the ones I've ever seen are kind of hissy. And he was hissing, and my dad took the shotgun out and he shot it, killed it, and blew it into several pieces. But I think that's about the only time I saw a water moccasin. As many times as I went to the creek, I don't ever recall ever seeing a snake like that. It could hurt me. We'd see garter snakes and that kind of thing, but maybe a copperhead or two. But I always
copperheads all over the time.
I always liked the animals, and the ants in particular. I wasn't kind to the ants, but I liked the fact that they were there, and then they were engaging. Especially those
Were
red
you one of the kids with the magnifying glasses?
No,
Or
we weren't
were you
that
just rude to
sophisticated.
them, or
You were like, I was insulting.
Still the
Shouting.
gasoline that was reserved for the Pushmore, and take a
Set
little
the
bit
anthills on fire.
and go out there and pour it on there. And then if I could get my mom's cigarette lighter, because she smokes, I would use it. But other than that, the gasoline would drive them out. in
seeing a
itself.
pattern here, Jeremy, of arson?
I know,
Yeah.
I'm so yeah.
With the thing that we talking about lighters, all of our parents, well, I can't speak for Kane's, but Jimmy and mine, they were all smokers, whether it's weed or cigarettes. But so there was fire starting devices everywhere within reach. But we always just the strike anywhere matches were the things that we loved because then you could cut
Those
the
are
tips off of them.
yeah.
Then you could cut the tips off of them, pack them into something, and see if it'll blow up.
Now, which ones are those, Josh? Are those
Wooden
like-
stick, red
the
tip.
wooden
with a little,
stick. They were
yeah.
kind of long.
Well, no,
Oh,
you
yeah.
could get them short, but they were I mean, you could strike them off of almost any surface. which
You
was
didn't
cool.
have to have this special composite striker
Yeah.
patch on the
Strip.
side of the box. So
Okay.
when you watch the old Western and you see the guy
Yeah.
strike it off his jaw or off his holster, yeah, that's the strike anywhere matches. But if you put enough of them in I don't know, say a tennis ball, I just hypothesis. If you were to throw that at something and then they compress, that probably would ignite the entire fuel source.
Wow.
There's a problem though when you're cutting the tips off of strike anywhere matches. The strike
After-
anywhere part comes into play while you're cutting the tip off of it.
Oh, wow.
You're also sitting there with an X-Acto knife and sitting there trying to do that. And eventually your hands get sore and you realize, I need hundreds of these bastards.
And then you go, fuck it. We'll saw the tennis ball in half, fill it with gasoline, light it on fire, roll it down the hill. Yeah. Problem solved.
Or you're like, I can just get the powder out of a shotgun shell.
So matches, shotgun shells, bullets.
Jimmy, didn't you have an incident with a 22 shell as well? Weren't you guys taking apart 22 shells rounds at one point?
Probably, yeah.
I think there was
What happened? Remind me what happened. Maybe.
I think you guys were taking the round off of the top with pliers, and somehow you did something, and something ignited,
and it went
something
kaboom or
happened.
something.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
And it probably with the same guy from the other story, if I'm
Yeah.
imagining
And now I'm remembering, now that we're talking about this, now I'm remembering the little taping the BB to the primer of a 12 gauge shotgun shell and throwing it in the air and letting it come down. And
What could go wrong?
what could, or Roman candle wars? What could possibly go wrong
one hits you right in the eyeball? That's what could go
with kids, children, immature kids firing Roman candles at each other? What could? But
I've had more injuries from food fights with slingshots than I have from Roman candle.
the Roman injuries. What is a Roman injury? Is that
crucifixion? But,
yeah.
One of the main ones.
Yeah.
They made that one real famous.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Roman candle wars. I've always been lucky, and so everybody else has bounced off that I've been with, but I could still see their clothes catching fire.
Mm-hmm.
But on the same nights that shit was going down, were the same nights I was camping out with my buddies, and I still remember getting smacked in the chest with a frozen marshmallow that came from a hunting slingshot. Oh yeah,
A frozen marshmallow.
Yes,
That's
He's like,
forward
"I'm gonna pack
thinking
this
right
up."
there. Yeah.
You guys were out of rocks.
You mean premeditated, Jimmy? Premeditated.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to put effort into freezing the marshmallows and then using them as projectiles. You know.
I think we're going to be with no rocks tonight, boys. Freeze these marshmallows so we can wing them at each other.
Hey, Mom, me and the kids are going to shoot each other with marshmallows next week. Could you start freezing them? So,
should we have them on fire at the time? That way, it's basically.
Do marshmallows light quickly on fire? Because you see, when people are doing like s'mores, they seem to ignite really quick. So,
the surface area takes a minute. It's not like you could shoot it through fire and catch.
So you couldn't like catapult.
Probably.
You couldn't catapult the molten lava of marshmallow at someone. I take it. Right?
You would have to have a trebuchet because you would not want to be pulling it back in a
trebuchet.
slingshot.
Not enough people say
some sort of
trebuchet
catapult.
these days. We need to work that word back in to zeitgeist.
It's right up there with lutenist.
Or lutenist. That's right.
Siege device, I guess. Is what
Not a lot of sieges going on.
Siege engine. There you go. Yeah.
But our buddy Dustin, we had just gotten done with the Roman candle fight, and we were whipping that across the fire, Dustin's got a black eye. Well, he got a black eye. Rest in peace, Dustin. From a hot dog that he took straight from a hunting. We were like, we are not going to the hospital telling him you lost an eye because we hit you in the face with a hot dog and mock Jesus. This is not how the night's ending. And so we just took some of the frozen marshmallows and tucked him against his eye, as one does, and said, just be quiet, Dustin.
Well, see, it all worked itself out with frozen marshmallows. Not only was it the instrument of death, it was also the instrument of helping, too, at the same time.
There you go. It's like a field medic.
There's probably a fable in that somewhere. I'm not going to figure it out, though.
Morality tale.
Yeah.
Parable.
So boredom in the 80s. There's not much. How could you be bored in the 80s? Now that we look back,
I had more injuries. Thinking about more injuries, doing sketchy shit on bicycles, whether it was on asphalt or trying to jump something. Did you guys set up the rickety ramps?
Oh,
or
yeah.
Go back in the woods and get enough of a hill to get to try and jump?
Yeah.
We had a place called the Jumps.
Yeah,
it was like the pyramids. We weren't sure how they got there. Some older kids before us made them. They were down at this. There was an empty lot down on the other side of the neighborhood.
Rumor has it the Anunnaki built them.
Yeah.
Right. And next to it, these guys had built, and they were solid. They'd put some time into it. And we used to go down there and we're going to work on the jumps.
Yeah.
And build them up a little bit. But they were, I don't know, good 3.5 feet off the ground, these mounds. And it sounds like a great idea to hit that thing going, but there was no landing. When you landed on the flat ground, 10 feet away. That always wound up in, you're going over the handlebars or you're bailing midair because you're scared shitless.
Well, that's because you didn't remove the mattress. You just removed the mattress.
Yeah.
Or you got the oversized shoelaces that get caught in the chain and you just get yeeted off that motherfucker.
Or scrape the shin down a pedal.
Oh, the cheese grater pedals.
Oh yeah, the freewheel when your foot slips off of it and that thing spins backwards right back into your shit. When you got freewheel because you thought that was cool instead of the standard.
And I thought it was cool to not have brakes. Thank you.
Well, yeah, everybody had freewheel if you just took a flathead screwdriver and knocked that little piece off the back cog.
Yeah.
True.
There's something. Boredom led me to take apart the back wheel housing of my bike to try and make it freewheel. When you do one of those, what do you call it, where you stop with the pedals, the brake, whatever that's called, clutch brake, whatever that's
dangerous.
Yeah, whatever that thing is called. I sat there trying to take that out, putting the bike back together, all because I wanted freewheel. Not fully understanding what freewheel was.
Yeah, and you wouldn't get freewheel at that point in time. You go to push back, and it would just launch you because it would. Now you're trying to turn the gears in reverse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So boredom is a skill, man. Did we learn to be skillful with boredom? There's the question. The silence means maybe.
You learn to not get caught, if that's a skill.
Well,
There
wouldn't
were
that be
cameras
the
everywhere.
result
That's
of the
hopeful.
behavior after the boredom? You know what I mean? The boredom leads to whatever behavior you're talking about that you don't get caught for. But the skill of being bored, like when you realize you're bored. I keep saying the skill. I don't know that's a skill. Like the moment you realize you're bored and you have a mechanism to deal with that boredom. There you go. That's what the skill is. Did we possess it?
When I first started messing around with cars, I realized I had more time in my hand than I had money. So that made me a lot braver. Well, I'm going to go ahead and try this because I ain't got the money to pay somebody to do it. So maybe I can, maybe I can't tune a carburetor. We'll see.
I was going to say cars like that, learning those types of things when you're doing that, like Kane was talking about. I never did that because I was like, I don't know. But it's kind of hard to be bored because once you get it apart, you got to get it back together. So you better figure out. Yeah.
So when I
You
was
better
growing
figure it out.
we had a wood stove, and we had a fireplace. Then we had a wood stove because they're a little bit cleaner, not so smutty and dirty.
Did you
But
say smutty?
I did.
Did
Is
you?
that the word?
Soot.
Sooty.
Smut.
Yeah,
Smut
exactly.
would be a different thing.
Oh, sorry.
I mean, it
That.
depends on what you're using for kindling, sir. Just, I mean, I don't.
Yeah. I just want to make sure we're still talking about the same thing.
I'm
That's all.
distracting conversation.
Yeah.
Okay, so
What are
So
we
in,
doing?
behind the house, so my dad was friends with somebody that worked at there was a furniture shop in Duluth. They made furniture. I think they were called McTavish or something. It was on Buford Highway. And so my dad would go there and they would fill up his back of his truck with just scrap pieces, scrap woods, little, like boards and 2x2s and things, just odd shaped triangles and so forth. So that's what we would burn. But we would also get wood from the woods behind us. A tree would there might be a pecan tree or an oak tree or something needs to be brought down. My dad would go out and cut. We do that too. But the point is that we're talking about boredom. So we had these piles of wood out back. Well, I wanted to build roller coasters, but not roller coasters to ride on, just models. So I would build those things. I would build them. My brothers and sisters would make fun of me for doing it, but I would build them. They would just go all over the backyard. And then my dad would come home, and then he was usually the one that would take it all apart again and do so without being too critical of me. But what I was going to say is that so something like Keynes learned his skills. I guess you learned your skills taking apart cars at a younger age. So I learned some skills building those roller coasters. I was going to show you right now. If I'll turn the camera, I want you to see something I've got in the background here.
Oh, this is like live on location. This is great.
Give me a second. I'm going to try to get the camera just right here. So I built this big Ferris wheel. Let me see if you can see this thing. Right there. Can you see that?
Yeah, nice.
Are those connects?
No, this is made out of the furniture pieces.
Oh, is it?
Let me
Okay.
show you. I'll show it to you. I'm gonna give you a demo, okay? So I had this old 1960s Pitney Bowes. They make mill machines. I have a Pitney
Yeah.
Bowes motor that drives it. It needs a little help sometimes starting.
Jeremy, you don't dress up like a clown, do you? No?
clowns.
Okay, good.
That's awesome.
Just mine. Just mine.
He's a
So what happened is that I built this thing and would get it out at Christmas. And I built this in '95, so I was in college.
You okay?
Did we just lose Jeremy live?
We just witnessed a homicide.
Okay,
I'm
cut.
sitting on
Take two.
I'm sitting on this tiny stool, and I weigh like 185 pounds. Anyway, that was fun.
That was off screen. Can you try that again? Just keep it in frame.
Is that coming in the video? I'm just kidding.
What do you mean is it going in the video? It's live. It's being broadcast right now.
So I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah. So I built this thing in
1995.
and I used to get it out at Christmas, so I could take it apart. It comes apart and everything. So I was to the point where it was becoming a hassle to go up and down the stairs to the attic. So when we moved to Florida, I had to get everything out of the attic of the old house, and I found it, and it was kind of janky. And there were some pieces that were broken, and I brought it down here, and I didn't know what I want to do with it, but I restored it, redid the whole thing over again. So now it is this will be its 31st year, but it hasn't ran every year, but it's permanent now. No more taking it apart unless I have to. So anyway,
Nice.
all because I was bored as a kid. My dad can't tear this down. In fact, he's probably never even seen this. But his loss.
That's awesome. Love it.
Yeah, you guys come to Florida, I'll give you a tour.
Just avoid the stool.
Outstanding.
Just avoid the stool. Yeah, I don't do well on stools.
That's the best ride in the house.
That was fun. Completely humiliated, but we're good.
What
Good
else?
thing is
If you're
nobody's
humiliated in front of us, you're overthinking it, homie.
watching. Yeah.
Oh boy.
So how are we doing in that chat? Do we have anyone in that chat? Of course we don't, do we?
No.
Why would we? We're doing nothing to bring them to the chat.
Yeah. Nobody knows this exists.
Yeah. We're the only four. That and the people we bug with this are the only ones that know this exists. Yeah. I got Whataburger, man. Mrs. went out and brought back some Whataburger, so maybe they'll sponsor us.
How
I
long
like
have
it.
they been in your market now?
Whataburger?
Yeah.
I want maybe 6 months to a year.
Yeah. They've got a little over a year here. There's one in Gainesville, one in Athens.
They're actively building them here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quite a few locations.
I like their fries. I like the thin fries they have, you know. Look out, McDonald's.
don't
Look
recall- I
out,
like
look
their
out,
burgers.
Ronald.
Remember the fries from Steak and Shake?
Yes.
Good stuff.
Well,
we have-
they've gone back to using tallow, from what I understand.
Oh, that's right. Little RFK action, right? Is that one still up on Pleasant Hill? There used to be one over there. I don't know if there is.
I don't know if there still is or not.
Boredom. Walking around the mall. You had nothing to do.
Oh yeah.
Bingo.
And it was like, hey, can you drop us off at the mall? You didn't have any money. You maybe had enough to get when burgers were 99 cents at McDonald's, maybe a burger or something. And you just wandered the mall for hours. And then somebody else's parents would pick you up. You
Right.
couldn't spend any money. You just go look at posters at, Spencer's, go into Gadzooks or whatever the store was.
So at what point did we stop having to deal with boredom like that? Did we? Did we have to stop dealing with it?
Got a job.
Give family.
Yeah. Start working. It's like, well,
Yep. Responsibilities.
I think that better prepared us to deal with jobs.
Yeah.
Employing a lot of folks of the newer generations are like, they almost feel like they need to be entertained at work. I'm like, this is what it is, man.
well, I mean, my first job probably was a function of being bored during the summer. Now, playing sports and everything, a month of summer was taken up with like football and shit like that. But during that summertime, when you're sitting around and my buddies aren't at home because they're over at their dad's house or whatever, it's like, wait a minute, I can go work at this car wash. Shout out Tender Touch Car Wash.
Tender touch.
But it's gone. But I rode my bike there, and then we were making $80 a day washing cars, and we'd have been out in the sun anyhow. So it was, why not? Right? You're gonna pay me to be out here and get a tan? Kind
And
of a trade-off.
socialize because your friends are already there.
Yeah, and some of the older kids from high school worked there. I was like a freshman or whatever, and that was so you get to hang around those guys, feel like you had a real job, But that was always cool.
Was it you, Sean, and a couple others?
Jimmy worked there.
Okay.
There was so many guys from high school that worked there. A lot of them were older than us at the time.
Yeah.
Because that was the guy. Lula Randy owned the place, and he loved Duluth. He was a big Duluth. His oldest daughter went there, and then his youngest daughter was a couple years younger than us. And
Was
he
he,
just loved
was
Duluth.
he related to Coach Lorandy?
No,
Okay.
he was not. Oh wait, no, you're right. That's Coach Lorandy. No, it's Lou. Oh God, I've got his last name wrong. Anyhow, it doesn't matter. But his name was Lou, and he called me rack shit for whatever reason. But he loved Duluth. He loved Duluth athletics, all of it. So anytime he could hire somebody from the high school to work there, he was a big sponsor. The colors of the company were purple and white, like the high school,
Yep.
which was kind of a genius move. Hey, buy one of our T-shirts, wear it to school on Spirit, wear it at the gym. You know what I mean? If you got some type of color thing going on at the school,
I don't have to sponsor the school will sponsor me.
right?
Yeah, so by the time you're 15 in what we're talking about, you wouldn't have a reason to be bored. You'd be at a job or something.
Be doing something, yeah. But
We
now,
were monetizing our boredom.
right? That's kind of where I was going with it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, okay, well, if I'm gonna be bored, what I get paid? You know, the parents giving you chores probably not going to get paid, right? It's just because you live here. But if I can go out there, somebody else will pay me. They'll be happy that I'm out of the house doing something, having a job. Now, I mean, do you see 15-year-olds working anywhere, 16-year-olds working anywhere anymore? Like when you get, I don't think I
Chick-fil-A.
do. Chick-fil-A is a good one. Yeah, they do hire. They have a good program.
They
for
do
it.
pretty good with what they're doing.
Yeah, they train them to be consummate professionals. You know, not what do you need. But yeah, I think that's probably a good one, Kane. I just anywhere else you don't really. I don't think you see it too much. And
You
maybe
you
kids,
can't hold half the time. You can't hold a 25-year-old to a standard of professionalism, let alone a 15 or 16-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So people probably aren't willing to do that. So maybe that's something that's lost over,
Especially
the
for the rate of pay. I mean, you're paying $12 an hour for somebody who's working what we were making $4.75 for, at McDonald's back in the early to mid 90s.
Good news, kids. AI is coming to relieve you of your working necessity.
robots.
Robots. That's right. We're gonna be in that utopian post-scarcity.
Hand over all your worries and fears to Skynet.
Everyone gets issued a AI bot. How you use it is up to you. You could take your robot and you could contract it back for labor, and then you make the money off that, and then in no time, I'm sure there'll be groups saying that that's slavery, and then it'll be a new thing. There'll be a new thing to concern yourself with, and that will be the subjugation of machines
Robots.
by humans. Yeah. And then people will be split on that.
Their social media and decide what to do with this.
Mm-hmm. So be bored while you can, kids.
Before the robot uprising.
Yeah.
No time to be bored.
Because
you're a human battery.
By the time the T-1000s start coming back, we're in trouble. It's gonna
stack those skulls in a neat pile, child.
Yeah. Man, I'm bored.
Well, guys, I gotta get off. And
yeah, you say you got not a demonstration, but a
demonstration
tomorrow. Yeah, so I'm being grilled tomorrow morning, and it's a little ways to Destin. I mean, it's about an hour, but I've never driven to Destin at that time in the morning, so I don't know what I'm in for. Traffic. I hate traffic.
So tell everyone what the reason is here. What are you doing?
So I have somehow managed to find myself working for a realty company. It just is like a 1099 sort of. Agents aren't full time. Freelance, yeah. But it's a pretty big deal because this lady. She has built an empire in like 8 years, and she believes this is I think it's a great business model. Once you have the customer or the buyer, the seller, once you sell that home to that family, she believes in keeping good business relationship with them for life. So like she offers homeowners insurance. She does rental properties, a swimming pool upkeep. I mean, it's just amazing the list of things that she offers.
Jimmy, you got your shovel?
Yeah.
You could get in on this. We'll start taping up the trash bags. Let's go.
Let's put an eagle on a shovel, and we'll turn an Eagle Enterprise out of the shoveling. Yeah.
Well, last year, I at the end of the year, I mean, I waited to the very last 2 days, 48 hours were left, and then I was gonna have to start over again. But I finally finished. I earned my real estate license for the state of Florida, so not something I go around telling many people about, but for you
Except the
guys,
whole world on a podcast.
except the whole world on a podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody's listening to. But
Jeremy, don't you know how popular we are? Don't you know how many people are quietly listening right now?
There are people in Singapore who are looking for a home, sir.
We have
bring 'em
international
my way,
fans.
And
please.
you have the holistic solution for them.
I do.
You do. That's
We'll find
awesome.
something for them.
Right. All right. Well, good luck, man. I hope it goes well.
Hey,
Yeah.
man, I appreciate it. Yeah.
That's
I
their
did,
skill. I'm sure it will.
I did all the onboarding. Onboarding is not like when we were growing up, you know. This was boring. What we did back in the day, you fill out an application, there were words on the application. Reference, what does that mean? You know? But now
I
it's
just wrote dictionary. That's a reference, right?
Well,
anyway,
well,
all right, guys.
good luck on your thing. And on that, I think it's a good way to tell everyone good night, right?
I think so.
I think so.
Enjoy it.
Yeah, thanks everyone who watches this in the future. Be looking out for us to be live. Look out for the Retro Current show coming out soon. A great podcast about the 80s, and there's going to be a lot of other podcasts over time. I think we figured this thing out. Now us retards can just go live at the push of a button, and this is dangerous. Yeah.
And let me say, Jimmy, I was not bored tonight. Not at all.
Whoa, that's awesome. And
Yeah.
if you were, well, I don't know what to say.
You had to learn how to deal with it, right?
That you did.
Right?
All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. Good night.